Welcome back. So as you can see, the dough has now risen appreciably. If you move it there, you can see it was about there, but now it's more than doubled in size. And there's it's doubled in size, and it's nice and aerated in there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just divide the dough into a couple of segments, because as I said before, I'm going to be making a couple of breads. So I'm just going to dip the fingers into the water bowl, which is the same water bowl that I used earlier. There we go. And in the distance there, you can see I've pre-prepared some vegetables to put on top, tomatoes and stuff. Right, so I'm just going to fold it just to try and keep the air in, but also just to get it to a stage where I can just cut it a little bit. So just fold again, lovely, fold and just keep the air in. There we go. It's a nice sticky dough. Do what we want. Fold, turn over. Now I'm just going to use one of these plastic cutting things just to trim it to about, I think, about there for one of them. I can always add a bit more to it, and then this half will be one. Well, no, it's not quite a half, it's about 2/3 will be one big one, and this will be a smallish one. So let's just make a little mark like so, and we'll just take that dough, kind of peel it off, cut it off, kind of thing. Now I've got some pre-prepared baking trays and things. They're not, these are not non-stick, they're just normal metal bits and pieces which I've got lying around, and I'll be baking in them. So I'm just going to, I've lined them already with baking parchment. You don't have to line them with baking parchment, you can just put olive oil on the bottom, but I find it lot easier if I just use baking parchment. And what I'll do now is I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the baking, well, it's the top of the baking parchment, because at the moment there's no dough inside, which will now become obviously the bottom. So there we go, baking parchment, bit of oil in there. Now I'll take the small piece that I've just kind of cut in there. Oops, it doesn't want to come out. All fighting with me. Right, here we go. Add a bit more. It's dough, it's not a problem. Right, fingers in the bowl again, just move it over like that, move it over like so, move it over like that, in the parchment, in the bowl, and just flip it over. Spread it out. There we go. Lovely. Now we just leave that to rest for a few minutes while I do the other one. Oh, where can I put this? Lack of storage here. I need a new kitchen. That's what I do. I need a new kitchen. Right. So I've got the other baking parchment and the other tray here, as you can see, same. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it. As I said, don't worry about the amount of olive oil that you're using, and you think that, oh, it's just drowning in olive oil, help me. But no, it's fine. this bread will take it, and it'll give you so much flavour. Oh, just use a good quality olive oil. I'm using Spanish because I believe that unless you go to Italy and buy the olive oil there, the Italian olive oils that are available in the UK, the most popular brands at the local supermarkets, the cheap prices that we can afford because we're not Michelin star chefs, those ones are probably the worst quality Italian olive oils. The Spanish ones, on the other hand, are much better, or so I've found, in my experience, limited experience. All the chefs will probably be, no, monsieur, you are wrong. This is not correct. You're making a many mistake. Anyway, this is my experience, my video, and they're not sponsoring. So let me just take the other piece of dough and just place it in here. There we go. Lovely. There we go. The excess olive oil that was in the bowl would just scrape on top. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Now, get rid of that. All I'm going to do now, put my fingers in the bowl again, in the water, and then I'm just going to take my fingers and just spread it out a bit. Very therapeutic. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Get it into all the corners like that. Lovely. Don't worry about popping those bubbles. They're nice. Leave them as they are. Let it be. As Mr. McCartney says, let it be, let it be. Okay. I think that's about there. It's kind of in all the corners. A trick with getting the baking parchment to fit into all the corners is after you've cut it to size, just scrunch it up and then take it that way. That takes the tension out of the parchment, and it will go where you want it to go. Okay, so the dough is now kind of ready for the first stage. So hands in water. First stage, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that. Plenty of those. You can do them neatly, you can do them as you like. And what I'm going to do for the first stage is I'm just going to, I've got some vegetables, as I said, prepared earlier. So here I've got tomatoes, peppers, and some rosemary. I've also got black olives cut into two and some herbs, and I'll be putting some cheese in as well. So at this stage what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a few tomatoes which have been, I've sliced them into small pieces, and I've also drizzled some olive oil on top. This is to prevent them from burning when they go in the oven. Let me just move that a bit so you can see better. I'm just going to place a few of those in there like that. Trying to make a pattern, I suppose. Let's see what we can do. Let's put one in the middle, a couple more at the side there, one in there. What will happen is that as the dough starts to rise again and settle down in the tray, it'll cover up a little bit anyway. It'll cover up a little bit these tomatoes. That's the idea. Whether it actually does or not in reality, we don't know until we film that part. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to leave that to one side. Let me grab the smaller piece that I had earlier. I'll just put this to one side for the moment. That's easier said than done. Right, easier said than done, as I said. Right, what happened to the water bowl? Oh yes, it's up here. Let me just pull that one a bit. Right, same as the last one. Put a couple of tomatoes, a few tomatoes around the edges. Just create whatever pattern you want, if you want a pattern. If not, just chuck them in. Chuck them in. Ah. Okay, that does me. Now, leave that to one side and we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. So I'll see you in, I'm just going to put the oven on now. The oven should be as hot as possible. So you want it around about 220, 230 degrees. And you want it set at that temperature all the way through the bake. Maybe at the last stage, last 5 minutes, 10 minutes before you bring it out, you might want to turn it down a little bit. But on the whole, with breads, you don't want to be opening the oven door and closing the oven door and so on. A bit like cakes, you know, because it can upset the cooking process and sometimes they collapse and so on. Alright, so we'll leave it there for a few minutes and I'll be back in about 10 minutes to put in the remainder of the toppings and then we'll just bake it. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. It's just given me time to do a bit more preparation on the vegetables. Okay, and the oven is on. What I'm going to do now is just start filling these up a bit. So I'll start with the small one first, I think. Yeah, get that out of the way, then we'll do the bigger one. You can do whichever way you want, really. But, I'm doing it this way. I've got to go and put this away somewhere. So we go. Right. So again, I've just put fingers in the bowl there. Just create some more dimpled. Just push it all the way down to the bottom. Okay. What we'll do is we'll be filling these holes up that I'm creating here. Not really holes, they're little pits. I'm filling them up with flavour. Okay, what should we start with? Ooh, decisions. Right, throw some peppers in there, I suppose. Try some red peppers which are chopped nicely. Put them in there. Just push them into the dimples. Get them all covered up. And as you push them up, because the dough is now really nicely relaxed and so on, it'll start covering some of these things up and also pushing itself out to the edges, and well, you can see it starts creating bubbles and stuff as well. So right, I think we've got enough in there. Push that back down again. So I've got some shallots here, homegrown shallots I have to add. Right, just throw a few of those on top. Push it down, push it down. Push it down, push it round, push it up and push it down, blah blah blah. Right, let's put some more in there. Nice flavourings going in. Okay, here we go. Get them going in there. This bread can take a lot of different types of flavour. Okay, I'm just going to stick with the standard. More or less standard anyway. What else can we throw in there? Oh, cheese. Cheese is good. Throw some cheese in there. Little cubes of cheese like that. Little nuggets. Whenever you take a bite or you chop into it. Just chop them in, put them in, push them in. Try this at home. It's really wonderful bread to make, and you can use any flavour you want. You know, I'm making like a savoury-ish kind of one. You can use this. You can put sweet one in, I suppose. You know, I've not tried it. I mean, I'm sure you can put chocolate in there, and ooh, that could be an interesting one to do. Chocolate. Oh yeah. Let me try that one day. All right. Good. Push those tomatoes back down again. I think I'll throw some olives in. Oh, one thing I haven't put in yet. Roasted garlic. Right, let me show you what I did. Let me just move this to one side. So I got some garlic. I chopped the top off. A whole clove of garlic. A whole bulb of garlic. Chopped the top off the cloves. So I've got the individual cloves. Then I put it on a bit of foil, like so. Drizzled some olive oil on top first, and then I put some little bit of salt on the top. Then I covered it all up like this, put it in my air fryer. I mean, you can put it in your oven for about 20 minutes at roughly around about 190 degrees or so, and then just forget about it for 20 minutes. And when you unwrap it, oh wow, the smell. But more important, when you look at that like that, and you just take that out, and then you take out a bulb or two, or just squeeze from the bottom like that, the individual bulbs just pop out. The individual roasted garlic just pops out like that, and that is a nugget of flavour. That is fantastic. Okay, right, so let's just pop that in there. Oh, that is lovely. Let me just pop that in there. You can use as little or as much as you want. It's a really lovely way to eat garlic. I mean, if the bulbs, if you think that's too big, just pop them down a little bit like that. Pop it in there. Pop it in everywhere, really. My motto: can't have too much of that. Put that in there. Get another one out. Oh, look at all that. You could actually just spread this on bread. After you bake the bread, you just spread it on bread. Eat it. It's so healthy for you. One of the healthiest way to eat bread. Right, got all the garlic out of that one, I think. Oh no, a little bit there. Put that in there. I think it would take one more small one, I think. Right, let's find a smallish one. Oh, dear me. Oh, two came out. Two want to go in. That's fine by me. Alright, let's pop this in here. Where did I go? Where did I go wrong? Bam, 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 bam. Okay, there we go. Last one, I'll bung that in the middle. No, I've got one in the middle now. Move that along a bit. Oh yeah, the flavour that will come out of this bread and the smell. Oh. It'll be very nice, it will. Now, next, a few olives. I've chopped the olives in half like that, and I've had them soaking in olive oil for a little while, again to prevent them from burning. Push the olives in. Push one in there. Push one in there. Put another one in there. Another one up there somewhere. Shove that in there. Right. And for the astute, you'll be saying, oh, but focaccia bread has rosemary. So here we go. A few rosemary sprigs. Push them right in there. It's a wonderful, healthy herb, rosemary. The Romans used to use it. Romarin, they used to call it romarin. And they used to use it everywhere. In Italy, it's used all over the place. It grows wild out there, as do a lot of these herbs, in fact. Okay, a few more sprigs of rosemary in there. I like baked rosemary, it's really nice. Push a few more leaves in there, some in there, some, and then what else have I got? So I'll put that in, cheese has gone in. Ooh, let's throw some, this is parsley, I'll just throw it on top. Again, it's been soaking in olive oil, so don't worry, it's fine. I have also got, here you may be noticing, what is this? These are a few dried chili flakes, just to give it a hint of a kick. Well, to give it a kick. You don't want a kick of a mule on this, you just want a nice hint of chili. These are actually very, very hot. So although I'm only putting in a couple of flakes, it is going to give it such a lovely flavour. And the only thing I have to do now is just sprinkle a bit of sea salt on top. Not too much, just a little bit to enhance that flavour. I can smell this already, it's fantastic. Let me move that to one side. I'll do the salt last. In fact, what I should do before I move to one side is just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top. Here we go. Right, that'll do me. Lovely bit of olive oil on top, as you can see. Whoops a daisy. Yeah, almost knocked the camera over. Shows this is a live situation, it's not a studio production. Right, let me get the big boy. There we go. And I'm very quickly going to do exactly the same as I did on the other one. Dimple away, dimple away, dimple, 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 bum ba dum bum, bum ba dum bum. Where was that from? Which TV program was that from? Kiddies program, probably. Okay, here we go. Push those back in, push those back in, push those back in. Let's start with the remainder of the peppers. Put peppers in. You could put whatever you wanted. That was a tomato going in. There's probably be a few more tomatoes which have been left over. They'll probably go in. You could put in things like sweet corn. Try that. What else? I've not tried peas. I don't know how well peas would work in a bake like this. What else would we want to put in? People put in whatever they want, really. It's all different things. Maybe mushrooms would be an interesting one to do. I'd imagine the flavour of the mushrooms would go all the way through. But I'm not a big fan of mushrooms. I'll have them, but I'm not a big fan. So I've not put any in. I might do one video later at a later date with mushrooms. But try it. Let me know in the comments. So they've gone in. Throw some olives in, no particular order, just chuck them in. Almost like a pizza. I suppose if you put a tomato spread thing on top, a tomato sauce thing on top, then it's almost like a lovely way to do something like a pizza, I suppose. I've not tried it. Try it, let me know. You can't go wrong with this. It's a bread. It's a lovely bread. Just try it. Shallots going in now. Push them in. These are homegrown and they are lovely. So if you've got lots of shallots and you're wondering what to do with them, try making something like this. Just chuck them in. Slice them small. You don't want the whole bulb going in there in one go. But just cut them down, push them in, slice them up. They're not easiest of things to slice, but they're fiddly, but it's well worth the effort. Bung them in there, bung them in. Bung it in, another technical term that you've got to learn. Technical terms are, well, then these chefs will come along. Ah, monsieur, you deserve a Michelin star because you use the technical term. Okay. I'm sure the Michelin star judges sound like that. Right, cheese next. Just get some cheese. Just start chucking cheese in. Another one, chuck. That's another technical term which I've used before in my videos. Chucking it. The art of chucking, and oh, we can put a bit of cheese on top of that tomato, or even underneath. These are all little nuggets of flavour that's going in. And as you can see, as you push it in, the bread starts puffing outwards and you get these lovely, lovely little bubbles coming up. I'm not popping any of those. It's good for the old decoration and identification. Oh yes, it is the focaccia bread that he has made. The flavour will be good. There we go. Just keep pushing them in, pushing them in. I quite like the cheese on this actually. It's nice. It comes very nice. Now, what else have we got to go in? Got a bit of garlic to go in. Well, I would say bit of garlic. There's quite a bit of garlic to go in. Just start taking some of these bulbs out, these cloves out of the garlic. Oh god, let's just try one at a time. So two at a time. Here we go. Squeezing it out. Lovely. Oh, so much flavour in that. Right, start there. Some more in. On there. It's a great way of eating garlic. If you're sensitive to garlic and you're finding that whenever you try to eat garlic it gives you some stomach issues or something, roasting it in this particular way, you find it much milder and much less well, it's going to be more acceptable to your stomach and taste buds in particular. It becomes sweeter as well. So try it, do try it and let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, I think I'll stick another one in. I'll put one in the middle. Get that one out. Oh, does the one want to come out? Let's try another one. Oh, that's a nice one. It's popping out. Oh, look at that. Almost like a paste. Well, it is a paste now. Put it on top like a paste. Yeah, why not? Why not to do that? Okay. Now, what else have we got? Put some herbs in. Rosemary going in there. This is again rosemary from the garden, so it's lovely. And again, I did soak, I won't say soak, but I had the rosemary resting in olive oil. Just a drizzle of olive oil, just to prevent it from burning when it goes into the oven like that. Okay, a few sprigs on top, put some in that corner. I think that's more or less covered. I put some in here, put a little bit in there. What else have we got going in? Oh, we've got some of this parsley. Just throw that on top. And the parsley again is resting in a bit of olive oil. So I've not used parsley before, to be honest, in my bread. But let's see. It's all about trying these things out. See what happens. Could put sage in there, I suppose. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Ah, chili flakes. Chili. We like a chili. Throw some more chili flakes in this. My hands are a bit sticky now, so the chili flakes are sticking to my fingers. I could wash and dry and then try and do this, but to be honest, I don't mind where it drops, as long as it drops inside the bread, on the dough. There we go. Push it in, push it in, push it in, push it in. Here we go. Push some of that in there. Yeah, yeah, lovely, man. Very good. Yeah, it's good, man. Very good. I'm looking forward to it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, just trying to scrape a bit of flavour from my fingers. Put it in. Drizzle a bit of broken cheese on top. Oh, it's all flavour. Lovely, lovely. Right, press it down a bit. Lovely. I'm just going to go and wash my hands a little bit. Quickly dry them. Simply because I want to put the salt on. I don't want the salt to stay in one place. The hands have to be dry, so I can just drizzle a bit of salt like that. Okay, just give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing washing my hands. Right. What sort of conversations did you have amongst yourselves while I was doing this? I wonder. Okay, here we go. We get some salt out. Okay, get some salt out into my hands. Some nice, decent sea salt or something like that would be lovely on this. So just sprinkle a bit of salt on top. Not too much, because the cheese is salty and so on. Right. Right, I've drizzled olive oil on top of that one. Let me drizzle a bit of olive oil on top of this one. Not too much. Not too much, please. Actually, I've got some in here. This is the flavoured one which had the parsley in it. I can put the bit of tomato in there, spare tomato. Put some of that, the oil that was in the tomatoes were sitting on, just drizzle that on top. Oh, lovely, look at that. Look at that for flavour. Ooh. Don't want to waste it. Spent money buying these things. Money buying the oil, money buying the tomato. Oh yeah, don't waste it. Well, actually, I think these were bought rather than homegrown. Our tomatoes haven't started yet over here. Okay, this is now ready to go into the oven, as is the other one. I'm just going to put them both in. As I said, my oven is set to about, I'd say about 210, 215. It's not a very good oven. It's a very, very old, battered oven. Does need replacing. My door doesn't close properly, so I'm being optimistic when I say it's about 220. But I'll open it up and I'll put the breads in, close the door, and then we forget about it for about 35-40 minutes. Depends on your oven, as I said. If it's a fan oven or whatever, it might take a little bit less. If it's an old bashed out one like Mars, well, I'd say about 45 minutes. Let's see. Right, let's open the oven door. That opened easily enough, which is good. That's now going into oven. It's gone in one. Put the other one in. The other one is now gone in as well. My tray is not it's not level. My tray in the oven, for some reason, is not level. I have to do that correctly. As I said, this is not a very good oven. So let me just adjust this tray. That's better. Now it's level, it goes in there like so. And the other one goes in. Close the door. There we go. Oven door closed. Time to tidy up. And I'll see you with the finished results. See you in a bit. About 45 minutes or so. So these have literally just come out of the oven. And they smell wonderful. And they are beautiful. Slightly... it's just perfect. It's actually... smells hollow, nice. Taste, sounds hollow. I've only just taken them out of the oven, so I'll give them a few minutes just to settle down, cool down a little bit, then I'll take them out of the trays and I'll show you what they look like. I won't be cutting this one for, I would say, about half an hour or so. Just give it time to cool down. Same as any other bread, it's still cooking whilst it's come out of the oven. But the smell, the whole house smells of this. It's fantastic. And this is the one that's going to one of our neighbours. Anyway, here we go. Okay, moment of truth. Time to cut. It's not actually really time to cut because it could do with another 10-15 minutes of cooling down, but I can't wait, I'm hungry. So, let's just check the underneath. Oh, look at that. Lovely, lovely. No soggy bottoms, and it sounds nice. Okay, let's cut. I think I'll go that way. Just using a serrated knife. Just let the knife do the cutting. It's about thereabout, I think. Alright. See what this reveals. Oh. There we go. Wow. Look at that. There you go. Perfect. That is really good. Springs back nicely, bouncy, and the smell. Oh wow. And the taste. Let me cut a little bit off to try. Just cutting a little bit off to try. It was so nice. Wow. Oh yeah. That's a lovely combination of flavours. You've got to try this. Beautiful bread. And to be honest, it doesn't actually cost much. Of course, you've got the cost of the electricity for the oven, or the cost for the gas if you've got a gas oven. The ingredients don't really cost that much. The olive oil is probably the most expensive of the lot, but you're not using a whole bottle on this. Might seem as if I did, but you're not. And then the flour is, it's just bread flour. Good quality bread flour, that's all. And look at that, it's fantastic. You would pay quite a bit in the bakeries for this, and you wouldn't get it as fresh. Yum yum. Do try this. It is lovely, and leave me a few comments. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you made it to the end. Let me know. Till next time. Enjoy yourselves. Stay happy.